Welcome. I'm Kip Hansen, contributing editor to Manufacturing Engineering and Smart Manufacturing magazine, and this is another SME media webinar. Today, we'll be covering the TIMTOS TMTS 2022 Machine Tool Show, which is the first ever alliance of two major machine tool shows. The TIMTOS TMTS Mega Show is hosted in Taipei, Nangang Exhibition Center Halls 1 and 2, physically from February 21st to the 26th, and online from February 21st to March 21st. This webinar is organized by Taiwan's Bureau of Foreign Trade. We will have morning and afternoon webinars, with the morning session focused on developments in smart machinery, and the second titled Developments in Precision Auxiliary and Machine Parts. Both will feature interviews with three leading equipment manufacturers and distributors who are exhibiting at TIMTOS TMTS, followed by a keynote speech and Q&A session. Before I turn things over to our presenters, I'd like to outline how the webinar will proceed and a couple of housekeeping items. On the right side of the screen, you'll find a question and answer box. If at any time during the presentation you'd like to ask a question, please type it in this box and send it along. These questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Should we run out of time, the questions will be sent to our speakers, and you'll receive an answer by email. Also, should you experience any difficulty during the webinar, such as a blank screen or a lack of sound, please use the Q&A box to alert us, and we will respond individually in writing with a suggested fix. That brings us to the final housekeeping item. Should you experience a difficulty such as this, the presentation will be available in recorded form at about 4 o'clock Eastern today. You may then watch the recorded version of this webinar at a time and place when you have more bandwidth. You may also watch the webinar as many times as you wish to catch details you might have missed for any other reason. Simply sign in again using the credentials you used to join us now. In addition, feel free to share these credentials with colleagues who might benefit from learning more about this topic. Our first presenter this morning is machine tool builder Tongtai. Established in 1969, Tongtai has two advanced manufacturing facilities, one in Taiwan and one in China. The company produces a broad range of CNC machinery, including vertical and horizontal machining centers, lathes, multitasking machines, boring mills, and more. Tongtai also has extensive experience in turnkey solutions, as well as standard solutions, and can assist in everything from machine and factory planning to application support. Tongtai is proud to have always emphasized innovation as its corporate driver. It invests between 3% and 5% of its annual spend on research and development, and has received 73 patents in Taiwan, Japan, and other countries. With that, I'd like to introduce Tony Wang, Tongtai's overseas sales manager. Tony and our other show presenters will be interviewed by Daniel Benitez, the Taiwan correspondent for the Society of Manufacturing Engineers at the TIMTOS TMTS exhibition. Good morning, Daniel and Tony.
Thank you, Kip. We are currently at the TIMTOS and TMTS 2022 tool exhibition, where we are going to be learning about smart machinery. Let's go and see what new things they have to offer. We are here at the booth of the first company, which is Tongtai, and we are going to be joined by Tony Huang, the overseas sales director for Tongtai. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Tony. I'm sales representative of Tongtai Machine Tool, Taiwan.
Okay, so we would like to know what is the biggest trend on the CNC machinery and why?
In response to a lot of customization, aging society, and require digitalization, the determination of market demand is changed from producer to customer.
Right.
So I think there are three challenges that CNC machining is facing nowadays. First is a lot of customization increasing day by day. Second, except mass productions, more variety, yes, less volume production, and right, variety production with different quantity at requirement at different times. Third, product life is become short. The frequency of a changing model from production line is more. So the machine accessory and features is difficult to standardize. So I think this is the challenge not only in CNC machining, but also similar in other industries. But overall, the market trend is in the same direction. And this is the key factor that CNC machining is heading to Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing.
Given the higher cost and complexity of multitasking machinery, what advice would you give to a manufacturer considering acquire this product?
To choose this kind of machines, it mainly depends on customer determinations because complex machine has customer operation behavior changed. Operator need to be more careful in operating, especially if different angle machining require a program will be more complex, like machine internal space related to tool length, picture design, indexing angle, and even chips flow and so on. That all need to be well considered. Compared to 2 or 3 axis machine, it will take more time.
Yes.
So for bettering setting up process, Dongtai we provide CPS system, cyber physical systems, which can physically predict operation errors so that can be minimized the errors to save time and money. And customer can also be benefit from below convenience, like before physically operating, customer can experience operation and simulate the complete process before real production.
Right.
And it also helps customer to evaluate a component complete process in an ideal way. So customer can calculate how much to make it before they take orders, and it will be up to 99% precisely.
That's good.
Yeah. For existing customer production efficiency also can be improved by offline evaluation through CPS. Yes. And fourth, for new components, first qualified piece can be ensured through CPS. Yeah.
Tell me, when should I introduce automation to my factory?
Actually, Dongtai give a definition of automation is to have a produce quality components all the time, not just loading, unloading.
Yes.
So, whereas production is different from customer to customer, and I think a customer may need to know what type of production their existing production is, and then there will be 3 scenarios. First will be max production, and second will be the more variety, less volume production, and third I think will be the more variety production, but require different quantity at different times. So identify the pains from their existing production line and analyze how to standardize and modularize. Dongtai we are capable to provide the right products and technologies to satisfy all kinds of customer requirements. Yes.
You mentioned that there is an issue when there are more variety but less quantity. So how can Dongtai help the customer deal with this?
Dongtai we have solutions to have a customer production line being flexible for changing the different model manufacturing. So that is our strength to provide such kind of engineering support for customers. Yeah.
Considering technology 4.0, how can Dongtai help the customer achieve productivity?
To ensure OEE performance of a customer existing productivity is very important. And when we're talking about Industry 4.0, the developing of application of a cyber physical system and vertical integration in production chain is a core spirit for Dongtai. So for monitoring production status, we can provide Dongtai smart sensors like pressure sensors and digital labeling gauge, and smart tool holders, and so on. And through aging computing platform, Dongtai Intelligent Management System, we call TIMTOS, to convert sensor value into data for monitoring corrections. Besides, Dongtai Line Management, we call TLM, can collect the production data to come out a report with real-time and accurate information for production plan management. For almost all concerns and problems, it can be something like data analysis and visualizations, all can be worked out by introduce such for these three systems. We believe that OE improvement of the customer productivity is the best guarantee we can provide to customers.
All these systems you mentioned before, can they be upgraded to all machinery? Like an upgrade?
Through this cyber physical system, we can improve the existing customer production line efficiency. And we can do that through the offline evaluations and do some correction from this by cyber physical system. So we can immediately, without additional physical test, we can prove it from the cyber physical systems. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Going back to you, Kip. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Daniel and Tony, thanks for that information. Our next company is Dees Hydraulic. Since 1976, Dees has been supplying hydraulic presses to the metal forming industry. These products include deep drawing presses, press brakes, and H-frame, C-frame, 3-post, and 4-post hydraulic presses. The company has devoted significant resources and drawn on its extensive experience to increase its manufacturing flexibility, construct global distribution networks, assure high-quality standards, and continue to reduce manufacturing costs as well as turnaround time to its customers. As such, Daniel will be interviewing Mr. Ali Lee, Dees' Vice Manager. Daniel?
Thank you, Kip. We are at Dees booth right now, joined by Mr. Ali Lee, Sales Manager from Dees company. Mr. Lee, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Ali Lee. I'm a sales manager from Dees Hydraulic. We are a professional manufacturer of hydraulic presses in Taiwan.
So, can you tell me how does these hydraulic presses separate from its competitors?
Yeah, okay. I think first point is that all the major components used on our machines are mainly from those internationally renowned brands. And this can make our components more reliable. Mm-hmm. And besides, it can help us customers to find the local spare parts, right, and also get the technical support from the original maker more easily in their country. Okay. And the second one is about the machine design, because we have our own hydraulic team and the electrical engineer team. So we can do the machine design according to the customer's needs. So we can say that we are quite flexible and professional in the terms of machine designing. And the advantage of this part is that once there's a problem occurred on our machines, usually it's in the beginning it's very difficult to tell that whether this problem belongs to hydraulic part or electrical part.
Yes.
So especially when the hydraulic circuit or electrical circuit wasn't designed by your own team,
right,
then you will have to seek the assistance from a third party. And in that case, there may be some problems of technical communication or immediacy to the problem to the customers.
Yes.
But at Dees, because the circuits are all designed by our own technical team, mm-hmm, which means that we can call together all the relevant personnel immediately for a meeting and to discuss, to get a solution and reply to the customer at the shortest time.
Yes.
So the longer the machine stops, the more money the customer will lose. So this is quite important to the customer.
Yes. Could you please outline any recent successes or achievements that the company has had, and
okay.
the reason for this too.
Yeah, okay. I think the electrical car has become a popular trend in the recent years.
Yes.
So we recently just completed a project about the electrical car components. This product is a forged product, and the customer needs a hydraulic press that is with small table but a big force.
Yes.
And the table size, it was like a 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter, but the force was 4,000 tons. So this is a special characteristic of our press, because we can design a machine whether it's a large capacity with small table or it's a large table with small capacity.
So you can fit the needs of the customer.
Yes. We can design the machines according to the customer's special needs. It's not a problem for us.
Yes.
Okay, and in addition to the machine itself, we also help the customer to find a mold supplier, because they only gave us a drawing, told us that we want to make this one.
Okay.
So we found the mold supplier for them, and we also planned the specifications of the machine for them. This mold supplier, we have been working with them for many years, and recently we are going to work together for another project of 1,500 ton project. Okay. Back to this project.
Yes.
At the final stage of the project, we tested the machine with the mold in our factory with the materials supplied by the customers. And we did a lot of modifications, adjustment on the press and on the mold. And finally, with the cooperation of the third parties, we completed the project and made the product successfully.
Okay. So you adjust to the needs of the customer and based on their materials and specifications.
Yes. So we are capable of design a machine for the customer and also help them to find the relevant suppliers, like for example for molds, for automation systems,
Yes.
or for fitting systems, something like that. This 4,000 ton press, we can say that it's a milestone for our factory in Taiwan, because before that, the largest capacity of machine we had ever made was 2,500 tons.
Okay. So now it's 4,000.
Yeah,
That's a big achievement. Yes.
thank you.
Could you tell me which issues are of prime importance for your customers at the moment, and how are you addressing them?
Okay, I think what the customers cares the most has been the same for the past years. First one, because recently the metal forming process has become more and more complex.
Yes.
So the requirements for the machine precision and the action complexity has become more complex as well.
Yes.
So, and the second, the service and the maintenance to the problem of the machine raised by the customer is the most important thing for the customer, I think.
Yes.
So, as I said, we have our own hydraulic engineer and the electrical engineer teams, which means that we are capable of solving these two problems for the customers.
Okay, that's good.
For example, our teams, they can design the hydraulic circuit and the electrical circuit according to the needs of the customers.
Yes.
So the first problem can be solved. And the second one is that once there's any problem occurred on our machine, as I said, we can call together the relevant person for a meeting, and we discuss, we provide a quick solution for the customer. I think now the customer, they buy a machine, they are not only looking for a reliable machine, they are also looking for the service and the maintenance capacity behind that.
Right.
So I think that is the most important of the manufacturers, of those manufacturers, and their values to the customer. I believe that these two advantages adds more value to our machines.
So in the case of controlling and taking care of the issues with the machinery,
Yep.
it might be a little hard to send an engineer quickly to foreign countries to manage with these issues. Is there anything you guys can do about that?
Yeah, right. Honestly, it's a serious problem right now.
Yes.
But even before the COVID situation, once the problem occurs, usually we don't send our engineer in the beginning. We have to diagnose the cause of the problem to determine if the problem belongs to the hydraulic part or electric part. Okay, so to doing so, we equipped a remote PLC monitoring device on every machine we sell to the customers.
Okay.
And the customer, they just need to provide a network connection to it, and then our engineers can remotely monitor or modify the PLC programs from Taiwan, and that can save time and give the customer the soonest response when the problem occurs.
Yes. So it can be monitored from Taiwan and then give a prompt solution to the problems, right?
Yes, and of course, with those tools on the mobile phone or on the computer, for example, Skype, WhatsApp, Line, some instant messenger apps like that, we can communicate with the customers instantly and directly.
Yes.
Even with pictures, with videos to show them how to do to follow our instructions, how to check the machine.
Yes.
So now you don't need to send your engineers to the customer site every time.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about customization, you mentioned that you can manage the size of the table and the press, the
Yes, yeah. Okay. Regarding this, hydraulic presses are different from mechanical presses. For the mechanical presses, the bigger the capacity is, the bigger the table will be.
right.
But for hydraulic press, it's not really necessary. We can design the machine according to the customer's needs. If it needs a higher force but a small table, no problem. For example, the 4,000 ton press I just mentioned, it's a big force but with small table.
Yes.
But for example, die spotting press, usually it's a very big table, but only like a 200 ton or 300 ton
Right.
capacity. So it's not a problem for us to offer the machines needed by the customer. And we can manufacture our presses from 10 tons to 4,000 tons in our Taiwan factory.
That's very good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And welcome back to you, Kip.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Daniel and Ali. Up next for our morning session is saw manufacturer Everrising, which has been specializing in mid to large size bandsaws and circular saws since 1982. Since that time, the company's R&D innovations have yielded constant breakthroughs. With 2 factories in Taichung, Taiwan, and another in Kunshan, China, Everrising's yearly output is in excess of 2,000 units. In Taiwan, sales offices are established in Taipei, Taichung, Tainan, and Kaohsiung. China has over 10 branch offices and service centers throughout, providing complete pre-sales and after-sales services with full-scale sawing technology. Everrising also has more than 40 sales distributors around the world, and its equipment can be found in over 60 countries. They are ranked in the top 3 for metal bandsaw providers globally. Here to discuss Everrising's products and technology today is Mr. Sam Chow. Over to you, Daniel.
I am here at Everrising booth with Mr. Sam Chow. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Sam Chow from Everrising Export Department.
Tell me, what is new in sawing technology and what should companies know before investing?
Okay, for circular saw machine and bandsaw machine, we have put the analysis of cutting data on our machine. And for the technology, the next step for the sewing technique, we will put OPCUA on our system and can help customer connect with their MES and ERP system. The customer, if they want to purchase new sewing machine, I recommend not only consider to buy the new machine with the function,
Yes.
And also need to consider if their machine in their factory, the old one,
Yes.
if they want to upgrade,
Right.
the supplier need to have the technique and need the ability
Yes.
to do that for the customer.
Tell me about the new E-Series bandsaw. What's special about them?
Okay, for the E-Series, well, we made more strong on the structure side, and the software is different than traditional bandsaw machine.
Yes.
At the beginning, we only put the simple cutting parameter function inside, but in 4 years ago, we made some improvement, put about more than 10,000 parameters inside.
Oh, okay.
Cutting speed for the E-Series machine is 30 to 50% more faster than traditional one. That's
good.
very help the customer for the they want to cut hard material. They get better performance to do that.
You mentioned that this machine is preset with some parameters. Is it possible for the user to edit or change them based on their needs?
Yeah, it's for the customer side. Like in different area, they have the different standard. In Asia, we normally use the JIS standard, and in German, we prefer DIN.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the US, we have the other standard. So we put all the different name of the same material inside the machine. Like in Asia, we call the normal carbon steel S45C,
Yes.
and in America, we usually use 1045. Yeah, you can use the same, use the name, and you input that, then you will find the right parameter inside that.
So the parameters are input already based on different regions like Asia, America, Europe.
Yeah.
That's very good. In the recent years, the sewing industry have changed. So can you tell me more about these changes?
The most challenging for us just like when we provide the cutting database on our machine, but it's more challenge coming. Like when I say, okay, cut carbon steel, the parameter is follow like the blade speed, need follow this, the cutting rate, like follow this, but the feedback from customer always say different.
Okay.
My reason is the material they got from different supplier or different heat treatment, and the cutting parameter also need to change. Maybe a small adjust.
Right.
Yeah, and also they use the different blade. Yeah, like they got the blade from German supplier
Yes.
or from Japan supplier. Different blade also need the parameter need something change.
Yeah, it needs to be adjusted.
Yeah, so that's for us also need to think how to do for the parameter database on our machine for the next step.
I heard that the bandsaw is maybe even more important than the saw itself. What is your opinion on this?
Oh, that's right. The saw blade and the sewing machine, just like car and their tires,
Right.
need to match together. So, like some customer in different area, they got our machine, but they use some not very good quality blade on the
Right.
machine. So they try to use the database on it to cut the material. Yeah, they will got bad service and the tolerance is also not good.
Yes.
So I will recommend if use the good machine, they also need to use the best blade supplier and use the right parameter. Then you will got the good cutting piece for your next step.
Right. I've heard that the saw blade is maybe more important than the saw itself. What is your opinion on this?
The saw blade and sewing machine, just like car and tires, they need to match together.
Right.
When you use the good machine, if you got some bad blade from not good supplier, you use the same parameter on our machine, the cutting piece won't be good. Like the next step, you put the cutting piece on the lens machine or mini machine. Yeah, that will be very big tolerance on it.
Yes.
So I recommend you got good machine and also you good blade from the supplier. The best match for the customer, they will got the better benefit for them.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, Kip.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Daniel and Mr. Chow. Last but certainly not least this morning is a discussion with Mr. Steve Ortner, the president of Absolute Machine Tools. Since 1988, Absolute has become a leading importer and distributor of CNC machine tools. The company has an experienced sales and support staff with technical centers in Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois, and is able to provide advanced metalworking solutions and comprehensive services for production machining, mold and die work, Swiss turning, EDM, and more. Good morning, Steve. What can you tell us about the challenges facing the U.S. market right now, and how Taiwan products help to meet those challenges, and also maybe tell us a little bit more about Absolute, and how you guys tick.
Okay. Well, for challenges, Absolute Machine Tools has been a long-time importer of Taiwanese equipment. We started in the late 80s with Johnford. They're still our number one line of equipment, mainly larger machine tools. In 1994, we added UG Machine Industrial Company Limited. They're a manufacturer of primarily vertical turning lathes. In 1997, we added Tongtai, and a little bit later, their Quick Tech division in about 2007, I believe. And in 2009, we added Accutex EDM, and a few years later, Lyco CNC screw machine. So all those products come from Taiwan. We have a few products that come from South Korea and India as well, but we are probably a good 80% Taiwanese equipment. One of the challenges we face as a machine tool distributor since the pandemic started has been a stretch in the supply chain. So in addition to shipping issues, which I'll get to in a minute, deliveries on equipment are starting to get longer and longer and longer. We thought this was going to be kind of a little blip in the road, and that things would correct itself. It's getting worse as of today than it's getting better, unfortunately. So I think as customers or users of CNC equipment have to be aware, and it's not just isolated to Taiwan, it's everywhere. There's a problem with getting parts. There's a real shortage of CNC controls, which are probably due to the chip shortages. And because of all the electric vehicles coming on the market, there's getting to be a shortage of copper, which affects deliveries of servo motors. So the poor little machine tool industry is getting brushed back by the big users of some of these commodities. Besides that, of course, we've had price increases. As anybody buying any type of raw materials knows, price of steel, well, the price of everything, it doesn't matter what it is, has increased and continues to increase. I actually think it's picking up steam a little bit. So we've had some price increases. They haven't been horrible to this point, but we expect more to come this spring. But a big part of getting machine tools over here is shipping, and the shipping costs have really gone through the roof. We were paying 8 to 10 times more for a shipping container than we were paying a year and a half ago. So For instance, a big machine that requires a flat rack shipping container. And a flat rack is just a container that's not a box. It's got open sides and an open top, so you can have something that, you know, is over 8 foot wide, doesn't fit in a standard shipping container. Those containers in the fall of 2020 were running about $8,000. They are now running $80,000. So just that, coupled with some general price increases, has made some machines really jump in price. So we've had to try to mitigate that. And how do you mitigate that when you got something that's big? Well, you take it apart, which uses more standard containers. It also creates a much longer installation time when it gets here because the machine's been completely disassembled, so we can stuff it in regular containers and get it over here. And even if you want to pay the price and pay $80,000 for a flat rack shipping container, you might not get one anyway. So getting product over here has been a real challenge. Everybody's watched the news and seen the backups at the ports on the West Coast. As of today, currently, that's actually getting better, but they're not dropping the price of shipping, and we don't see it happening anytime in the near future. So for the machine tool builder, machine tool distributor, those are some of the challenges we face. I think we also face the same challenges our customers face, and that's labor costs, and rising costs overall. The labor market's tight. It's been tight. It's even tighter right now, and the price is going up. So retaining employees, we have the exact same challenges everybody else does, which leads to more automation. You know, we are very busy automating existing machines and or new machines. The customers need to run them at least somewhat unattended so they can get more productivity out of the same or less people. So I mean, I guess that's the 30,000 foot overview on some of the challenges I think we're all facing and what we're trying to do to mitigate it.
All right, great. Well, thanks for that. That was very informative. We did get a couple questions from the audience while you were speaking. I guess the first thing we've got, Thomas is asking. He said our company is looking at a large boring mill, and he actually read an article on energy parts machining in manufacturing engineering recently, and he's been suggesting that they should go with a gantry mill rather than a boring mill. What are your thoughts?
Well, we do both. I guess it depends on the parts. There's something to be said for being able to set the part down on a table of a double column machine versus trying to stand it up on a boring mill, just from a fixturing perspective. But it depends. We seem to be doing more and more 5-face machines in the double column machines so that you can hit all 5 sides of the part in one setup. Boring mill, you can probably get 3 or 4 sides. It just depends on the part. They both got their place in the market.
So the takeaway there is to work with a good machine tool distributor and figure out the best solution then.
Yep, get another set of eyes on what you're trying to do, and take our input. It's free.
Sure. Another question back to your automation, which I know is a big topic these days. We've got John asking about collaborative robots. What are your thoughts on collaborative? Are they really? So there's a lot of hype about them. Which direction should a company go? Collaborative or quote unquote industrial robot?
We jumped into the collaborative robot market about 2.5 years ago. We are partnered with a company in California called Productive Robotics. The cobots are actually made here in the U.S. I think they're the only ones. It's not hype, you know. So 2.5 years ago, we had never sold a collaborative robot. We have probably sold somewhere around 100 of them since that time, and we have them doing a variety of tasks from machine tending to deburring. We're even experimenting with one for painting right now. They're inexpensive compared to human cost. They've been working well. A lot of the customers that have bought them have bought multiples because they're just finding uses for them.
Okay. All right. Very good. And I think we have time for one more question, probably. We've got Mary, who's a production manager out in the western U.S. She said her company's been looking at multitasking centers, but is having a hard time with the investment costs. You know, obviously they're more expensive than a typical 2-axis lathe or a 3-axis mill. What are your thoughts? What can you tell her about ROI on those machines?
Well, ROI would be kind of hard to guess because I don't know what Mary's doing with the machine, and there's a wide range of cost in a multitasking machine. So I guess it depends on size and you know what you can get per hour for the machine to justify it. We have some multitasking machines that are smaller and are very cost effective. But if it's a large machine, they're all expensive.
Okay. Yeah, again, it always comes down to the part, right?
Right.
All right. Well, very good. I think we'll wrap things up now. Thank you, Steve. And remember, you can revisit this webinar anytime you wish after 4 o'clock today. And any unanswered questions will be answered via email. As always, SME and SME Media can help you keep abreast of developments in automation, robotics, and smart manufacturing on our website, www.sme.org. And don't forget, our second TIMTOS TMTS session, Developments in Precision Auxiliary and Machine Parts, begins at 2 o'clock Eastern Time today. Thank you for joining us for this SME Media webinar. Hope you found it informative. And if you're interested in learning more about the TIMTOS TMTS 2022 show, you may log on to its official website at www.timtos-tmts.com.tw. Thank you very much.